political consideration. That demonstration says every region has an equal stake in Ghana's development and will continue to benefit from investment in roads, education, healthcare, water, agriculture, and other critical sectors. Government is therefore calling on Ghanaians to remain united, emphasizing that national development must transcend partisan politics and serve the interests of all citizens.
The Volta region has made an immeasurable contribution to Ghana's development, and its people deserve to share fully in the progress of our nation. And as I said when I was campaigning for president, I said I will always ensure that the Volta region gets its fair share of national development. And so let me assure you that this government that I lead does not regard the Volta region merely as a region of loyal political support. We reject the notion that any part of Ghana should be taken for granted or left behind because of its electoral choices. Our mandate given to us by the good people of Ghana is to govern the country for every Ghanaian, and our commitment to the Volta region is founded on fairness, on equity, our constitutional responsibility to ensure balanced national development across the whole of the country.
The Chief Justice has underscored the need for a justice system that is accessible to every Ghanaian, saying the court must protect the rights of ordinary Ghanaians and such as much as those in powerful position. The remarks highlight the judiciary commitment to fairness, equity, and also public confidence in the rule of law. The Chief Justice has called for a justice system that works for all, stressing that access to justice should never be reserved for the privileged or the influential. Speaking at a judicial event, the Chief Justice said the courts have a constitutional duty to uphold the right of every citizen, regardless of social status, political affiliation, or economic background. The Chief Justice emphasized that the true measure of justice lies in its ability to protect the vulnerable, resolve disputes fairly, and ensure that every Ghanaian can seek legal redress without fear or discrimination. The remarks also highlight the importance of strengthening public confidence in the judiciary through transparency, integrity, and timely delivery of justice. The Chief Justice reaffirmed the judiciary's commitment to upholding the rule of law, ensuring equal treatment before the law, and making justice accessible to all Ghanaians, not just the powerful. Away from the justice's story, the President John Dramani Mahama has cut the salt for the construction of a 24-hour economy market at Drapon in the eastern region. The project forms part of the government's broader strategy to boost trade, create jobs, and stimulate economic activities under a 24-hour economic agenda. President John Dramani Mahama has officially broken grounds for the construction of a modern 24-hour economic market at Drapon, marking another step in the implementation of the government's flagship economic transformation program. The market is expected to provide traders with improved facilities, support round-the-clock commercial activities, and expand opportunities for businesses in the area. Government says the initiative is designed to enhance local commerce, improve market infrastructure, and create sustainable employment, and particularly for women and young people. The project also aims to strengthen regional trade, improve access to agriculture produce, and position Drapon as a key commercial hub within the enclave. President Mahama reiterated government commitment to delivering on the 24-hour economic policy, describing the market as a catalyst for economic growth, increased productivity, and improved livelihoods for residents and businesses in the area.
Drapon has long occupied an important place in Ghana's economic landscape, and it has earned a reputation as a center of industry, agriculture, and commerce, with its strategic location along the Volta River, positioning it as an important gateway for trade and investment. The surrounding communities are home to hard-working farmers who produce maize, cassava, rice, vegetables, and other food crops that contribute significantly to our national food security. Combined with its industrial heritage and transport links, these advantages provide a strong foundation upon which a modern local economy can flourish. The market, whose construction we are beginning today, has been conceived as far more than a place for buying and selling. It is being developed as a modern enterprise hub that will support aggregation, storage, processing, packaging, financial services, digital commerce, and efficient distribution, creating the conditions for businesses to expand, become more competitive, and generate sustainable employment. For the people of Dwapong and surrounding communities, this market will become an important catalyst for economic activity. Farmers will have improved access to organized markets, helping to reduce their post-harvest losses. They will secure better returns for their produce. Traders will also operate in a cleaner, safer, and more efficient environment, while transport operators, artisans, food processors, and other service providers will benefit from the increased commercial activity. This market will strengthen linkages across the local economy, ensuring that more value is created and retained within the community. The project forms part of government's flagship national program to construct 24-hour economy model markets in all the 261 districts of this country. This will ensure that every district will have the infrastructure required to support production, trade, and enterprise. In the Volta region, all 18 districts will benefit from this initiative. And today's soft cutting in Dwapong marks the beginning of that regional rollout. As these markets take shape across the region, they will create an integrated commercial network that connects producers to markets, strengthens local value chains, promotes intra-regional trade, and reinforces the Volta region's role as a major center of agriculture, commerce, and industrial growth under the 24-hour economy initiative. As the Minister of Local Government said, Dwapong has one of the biggest of these markets.
Now, moving on, we get to the High Court, where the High Court has struck out application by the Attorney General seeking to revoke the medical travel approval granted to the former National Food Buffer Stock Company Chief Executive Officer Hanan Abdul Wahab. The court ruled that the travel order has already expired, leaving no existing order to revoke. The High Court in Accra has struck out as withdrawn an application by the Attorney General seeking to set aside the medical travel approval granted to former NAFCO Chief Executive Officer Hanan Abdul Wahab. The prosecution has asked the court to revoke its earlier decision allowing Hanan to travel to the United Kingdom for a medical appointment, arguing that new development has emerged after the order was granted. However, the court held that the travel order was self-regulating and had already elapsed on July 12, meaning there was no sustaining order to revoke. Following the court's observation, the Attorney General's representative withdrew the application, which was subsequently struck out. Lawyers for Hanan argued that the application was unnecessary because the travel order has already expired and maintained that their client's right has been affected by events following the court's original ruling. The substantive criminal case involving the former NAFCO CEO and other accused person is expected to continue before the High Court.
Well, I think first and foremost, the conduct of the state must really be emphasized by you guys. I'm quite surprised that the state will actually behave in this way, conduct itself in a way just to violate a citizen of Ghana in this manner. They, of course, prevented the court order from being obeyed by arresting him and detaining him for the period that you all know, 4 days and 4 nights and all, and then deliberately filed the motion and face it until after the lapse of the order. And I'm surprised that the Deputy Attorney General will come to court seeking to revoke an order which has lapsed. So clearly that application was incompetent, could not be granted because the order had lapsed. And they orchestrated the lapse of the order because they arrested him, put him in their cells, and they seized his passport for him, prevent him from traveling and all that.
Now, moving on, a worrying new report has revealed that more than a quarter of young people in Ghana start abusing drugs before the age of 15, raising fresh concerns about the growing substance abuse crisis among adolescents. Health experts are calling for urgent intervention, stronger education, parental guidance, and community-based prevention programs. A new report has revealed that 26% of Ghanaian youth who abuse drugs began the age of 15, highlighting the alarming rise in substance abuse among children and adolescents. The findings have sparked renewed calls for coordinated action to tackle the growing problem, with experts warning that early drug use can have devastating effects on brain development, academic performance, mental health, and future opportunities. Stakeholders say peer pressure, family challenges, easy access to illicit substances, and limited awareness continue to fuel the trend. They are urging government agencies, schools, parents, religious institutions, and community leaders to strengthen prevention programs and provide early support for vulnerable young people. Health professionals also stress the need to expand rehabilitation and counseling services whilst intensifying public education to protect the next generation from the dangers of drug abuse. Report serves as a stark reminder that addressing youth substance abuse requires a collective national effort to safeguard Ghana's future. In our story, the national security has shut down illegal mining operations in Draben in the Ashanti region, placed a one-month ban on all mining activities in the area. The move forms part of intensified efforts to clamp down on illegal mining and protect the environment. Illegal mining activities in Draben in the Ashanti region have been suspended for 1 month following an intervention by the national security. The operation aimed at curbing illegal mining saw the closure of mine sites accused of operating without proper authorization and posing threat to water bodies and the environment. Authorities say the temporary ban will allow for further assessment, stakeholder engagement, and measures to ensure that mining activities in the area complies with Ghana's mining laws. The national security has reiterated its commitment to supporting the fight against galamsey, warning individuals and groups involved in illegal operations that enforcement action will continue. Residents and stakeholders have been urged to cooperate with authorities as efforts continue to restore responsible mining practices and protect the country's natural resources.
I think we started this whole exercise with you. And what we witnessed today, or we are witnessing, you can bear with me, that is very, very frightening. Very, very frightening. So no wonder the regional minister, who's leading the regional coordinating council, or the regional security council, that from today, Wednesday, till the following month, there is no mining in the Draben municipality. What we would want to see is reclaiming pits or lost or degraded lands. You know, as we are also on the field, we are gathering our intelligence, and we'll make sure the report gets to our superior and then know the necessary action to take even within the 1 month.
And that does it for the major bulletin on the local front. Going straight to the business desk right after the break, the details of the business story will be coming your way with Nandede Gogo.
introduce you to Farm Global Company Limited. At Farm Global, we offer you variety of groceries and provisions to choose from. Cosmetics, perfumes, bed sheets, undies, boxes, you can mention all. This is our perfume stand, and we have variety of perfumes you can choose from for yourself and your loved ones. We cover Latapa, fragrance world, and quality perfumes that will last long on your body. On our cosmetic section, we have variety of lotions, creams, hair pomades that can keep you going. Let your feet do the talking and your hand do the showcasing. Your babies are not left out. We got you covered. At Farm Global, we make shopping a beautiful experience for you and your family. You can be at home, send your list and get it delivered for free. Yes, for free. We know you can pay for it, but we want to show appreciation. We bring everything to you at your doorstep. Locate Farm Global on the Nungwabuade Road, just opposite Redeemer Chemist. Call us on 0592 0999 52 or 050 384 3633. Farm Global, fast, reliable, and convenient.
Welcome back from the break. This is the business news with me, Nadede Gogo. In business, Ghana is stepping up efforts to green the access of the honey market in these. Ghana is intensifying efforts to reclaim its place in the European Union honey market, a sector considered to have significant economic potentials for local beekeepers and exporters. The move comes as stakeholders focus on improving production standards, ensuring food safety compliance, and meeting strict international requirements needed to compete in the global honey industry. Officials say strengthening Ghana's honey value chain will not only restore access to key export markets, but also create more opportunities for farmers, especially those involved in beekeeping and agro-processing. Industry players are being encouraged to adopt modern production practices, improve traceability, and maintain quality standards to boost confidence in Ghanaian honey on the international market, with growing global demand for natural products. Authorities believe Ghana's honey sector can become an important contributor to export growth, job creation, and economic development. Moving on, trading on the Ghana Stock Exchange ended on the positive note as 6 listed companies recorded gains, while only one stock determined an explosive midweek rally. The strong performance reflects renewed investor activity and growing confidence in the equities market. The Ghana Stock Exchange continued its upward movement as market activities picked up during midweek trading, with 6 listed companies recording gains against one decliner. The positive performance was driven by increased investor interest in selected stocks, pushing market indices higher and strengthening expectations of improved returns for shareholders. Analysts say the rally reflects a combination of renewed investor confidence, strong corporate performances, and improved market sentiment. However,
market watchers are urging investors to remain cautious and consider broader economic factors as they make investment decisions. The latest gains add to growing optimism that the Ghanaian equities market could maintain its recovery momentum in the coming trading sessions.
Let's go for a break. Up next is sports and entertainment with Wendy Lati.
How would you have some look fast? Baba, me again. Let's all yell it. Look what you mean. Oh, unity. Mentiment sent my friend doctor when I'm crossing over. So what was swearing? She has malaria. Hey, malaria. Oh, why they say we're the router? We copy the evidence. A drone a friend router next. Yeah, come on, let it draw. And running so cat trap and the draw ku abaso body ase wabo ruta mixture abaso ruta natural products no ne ruta mixture ya e de kutia a treat ruta tonic and the ruta life wa e huru e feel sra de body e fi nipadua mu na support immune system no ruta de obi ase FDA age dwede nkrato ya tu.
Welcome back from the break. You are still watching Mega News Assist on MBN TV, and I'm Wendy Lati. And now on the sports desk, Ghana Black Queens goalkeeper Cynthia Collan has called for greater investment in goalkeeping development across Africa. She made a call during a CAF Star Spotlight webinar where she shared insights on strengthening the future of goalkeepers on the continent.
Ghana Black Queens goalkeeper Cynthia Collan is advocating for more attention and investment in the development of goalkeepers across Africa. Speaking during the CAF Star Spotlight webinar, the showstopper highlighted the need for structured training programs, improved facilities, and mentorship opportunities to nurture young goalkeeping talent. Cynthia Collan emphasized that goalkeepers play a crucial role in the success of teams and must receive the same level of development support as outfield players. She encouraged football stakeholders to create pathways that will help young goalkeepers gain the technical, physical, and mental skills required to compete at the highest level. The Black Queens goalkeeper believes stronger investment in goalkeeping development will contribute to the growth and competitiveness of women's football across the continent.
And away from sports, we move to entertainment, where voiceover artist Andrew Tando Adote is calling for stronger copyright protection to safeguard the rights and livelihoods of professionals in Ghana's voiceover industry. He says improved laws and enforcement are needed to ensure artists receive fair recognition and compensation for their work.
Voiceover artist Andrew Tando Adote is advocating for stronger copyright laws to protect practitioners in Ghana's creative industry. He says many voiceover artists continue to face challenges, including unauthorized use of their work, limited recognition, and inadequate compensation despite the growing demand for voice content in advertising, broadcasting, and digital media. Mr. Tando Adote believes strengthening copyright regulations and improving enforcement mechanisms will help create a fairer environment for creative professionals. He is also urging industry players, media organizations, and policymakers to collaborate in building systems that respect intellectual property rights and promote sustainable careers for voiceover artists. According to him, protecting creative work is essential to encouraging innovation and ensuring that talent in Ghana's creative sector can benefit fully from their contributions.
That's it for today on sports and entertainment. Coming up is the foreign news.
Hi, welcome to Shiloh Guest House, where comfort meets warmth. Our serene environment and cozy rooms provides a pleasant stay. To book a room with us, call 055 5940 and 0241 972076. Locate us at Teshinungwa Estate, number 8 Coconut Street, directly behind A Life Supermarket. Shiloh Guest House, where comfort meets warmth.
Welcome back from the upbringing update from the business, sports and entertainment. We turn our attention to the foreign front, where protesters have erupted in several Ukraine cities following the President Vladimir Zelensky asked of the major who leads the country's defense ministry. Protests have erupted in parts of Ukraine following the President Vladimir Zelensky move to replace the country's defense minister. Demonstrators gathered in the major cities questioning the timing and implications of the decision as Ukraine forces remain engaged in a prolonged conflict with Russia. Government says the leadership changes are aimed at strengthening Ukraine's defense strategy and improving coordination within the military structure. But some protesters and opposition voices fear the reshuffle could create uncertainties at a critical moment for the country's war efforts. The changes come as Ukraine continues to seek international support whilst facing pressure on the battlefield and preparing for the next phase of the conflict. Zelensky's administration insists the reforms are necessary to ensure a more effective and resilient defense system. From the Ukrainian, with a tension happening between them and Russia, 11 people have died after a devastating fire broke out at a children's care home in Algeria. Authorities have launched investigations into the cause of the blaze as the nation mourns the victims. 11 people have been killed after a fire swept through a children's care home in Algeria. Emergency responders rushed to the scene as flames engulfed the facility, but several residents could not be rescued in time. Authorities said investigation have begun to determine the cause of the deadly blaze and establish whether safety measures at the care home were adequate. The tragedy has sparked grief and renewed calls for stronger safety standards in residential facilities caring for vulnerable children. Officials have expressed condolences to the families of the victims and assured the public that those responsible for any negligence will be held accountable. And that's it for this evening bulletin, live and direct from our studios in the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Extension, Nwa at Dogono. Before we take leave of you, a recap of the stories making headlines. No region will be neglected because of voting choices, government assures. In business, Ghana moves to reclaim lucrative EU honey market. On the international front, protests erupted in Ukraine cities over Zelensky's defense minister removal. For more news, log on to MBN 360. Business Story was brought to you by Nadede Google Sports Entertainment, Wendy Latte. My name is El Samuels. Keep watching MBN TV. Thanks for staying with us.